Now, be attentive all of you. Chapter 4 of stats, measures of dispersion. Now understand the things. Suppose I say that average marks scored by Mudra in all the subjects out of 100 is 90. And I also say that average marks scored by Dev Patel in all the subjects is 90. Now if I have to select one of the two for some IQ competition, etc., are both of them equally preferable for me? Yes or no? Average marks of both are 90. Are they equally preferable for me or not? Yes? Who say no, raise your hand. I say no. Until and unless I have an idea about the marks of all the subjects, I cannot take this decision. I'll give you another example. Understand this? Let us say we are talking about cricket, and there are two players. Maintain silence. Okay, Kohli. No, not Dhoni. Listen everyone. Now suppose you have the details that first match. Please silence everyone. First match. Listen everyone. Now, to understand the concepts, maintain silence. Third match. Listen everyone. Fourth match. Okay, where century, then not in mood, 0, then again 90, then fight with the wife Anushka, fight with Kohli's wife Anushka in 5 runs, then fifth match, let us say 70 and 30, and sixth match 30 and 70. Now, if you find the average runs for both of them, let us say mean runs, x bar of runs, for both of them you'll find 50, 100, 150, 190, 200, 230, 300 divided by 6. What is the average score? 50 runs. 100, 190, okay, 95. 100, 195, 200, 270, 300. 300 divided by 6, 50 runs. Average is same. Now if these details are not available, and we just have two details, that Ved's average is 50 runs, Kohli's average is 50 runs, I cannot take any decision. You all said both are equally preferable? No. Because we don't have the other details. Now having the other details, how many of you would prefer to take Kohli as your cricketer? And how many of you would prefer to take Ved? I will be in the category of Kohli. Reason? At least I know that if he goes on the field, then his runs will be somewhere around 50. But I cannot trust on him. Why I cannot trust on him? Because if he goes He may score 100 also, he may go duck also. So we cannot trust on Ved. Really he will score and come or not. But here we can expect around 50 runs for sure. Now why this trust is created for Kohli and not for Ved? Because the values are very close, they are scattered less, dispersion is less. Here the values are away, they are scattered more, dispersion is more. So we never take the decisions only on the basis of average alone. Decision is always taken on the basis of average plus dispersion. So if I am given the information that average marks of Dev and Mudra are 90, but dispersion of Ved is 1 mark and Mudra is 5 mark, I would prefer to take Dev. Because dispersion of 1 mark means he is scoring between 89 to 91. And dispersion of 5 marks means she is scoring between 85 to 95. So you never take the decisions on the basis of average alone, central tendency alone. Decision is taken along with central tendency plus dispersion. Okay, like here what is the average? How much is 50 away from 50? This is dispersion. How much is 50 away from 50? 55 away from 50? 45 away from 50? Don't say minus 5. Deviation is never negative, it is always absolute. Okay, both are at a distance of 5. How much is 30 away from 50? How much is 70 away from 50? What is the average dispersion? 5, 10, 30, 50. 50 divided by 6, 8.33. What is the average dispersion? 8.33. Means if he goes on the field, he will score 50 plus 8 or 50 minus 8. Means you can expect between 42 to 58 runs from Kohli if he goes on the field. This is the concept of dispersion. But if you count the same thing for Ved, how much is 100 away from 50? 0, 95, 5, 70, 30. Now if you find the average of dispersion, 50, 100, 140, 180, 190 plus 40, 230 divided by 6. So 38.33. Means if he goes on the field 50 plus minus 38, means he will score somewhere from, let us say, 12 to 88. Anything can be done by him. So we cannot trust her. Definitely we will prefer to go with Kohli. So you never take the decision on the basis of average. Average of two persons may be same. But then more important, the decision lies not on average, it lies on dispersion. Even if Kohli's average was less than Ved, say 48 runs, but with the dispersion of only 8.33, still we would prefer to go with Kohli. Did you understand this portion, everyone? Any doubts for that? So what is dispersion? Average scatterness. Repeat.
Average scatterness.
From measure of central tendency.
From measure of central tendency.
Like here central tendency X bar is 50. And what is the average scatterness from 58.33? Here the average scatterness is 38.33. Did you understand the concept of dispersion, everyone? Okay, once again, what is dispersion? Average scatterness from the central tendency. Okay, further if you compare one more thing, then do it on calculator. 8.33 divided by 50 into 100. 8.33 divided by 50 into 100. 16.67%. And this one, do 38.33 divided by 50 into 100. 38.33 divided by 50 into 100. Means Kohli's dispersion is only 16.6% of its average, whereas Ved's dispersion is 76% of its average. Much dispersion. Dispersion is very high. Did you understand this concept, everyone? So first write down the meaning. Okay, write down. Dispersion means average scatterness of all the observations, a measure of. Did you understand this? Now there are two different types of measures we are going to study: absolute, and the other is relative. Now, what is the difference in absolute and relative? Understand it? See, the dictionary meaning of absolute means non-negative. Like I said, how much is 55 away from 50? 5. And how much is 45 away from 50? 5. So 5 is called the absolute difference. Okay, you will not say minus 5. If I say what is the distance between Subhanpura to Alkapuri? 3 kilometers, suppose. Then what is the distance from Alkapuri to Subhanpura? 3 only, you will not say minus 3. So what is that 3? That is absolute. Okay, so absolute dispersion actually is what it is, expressed in same units. Relative, it is expressed in same units. So what is that absolute dispersion 8.33? What are the units? Runs. The units here are as runs. All the figures are expressed in runs. 50 runs, 45 runs, 30 runs. And this dispersion is also 8.33 runs. Did you understand it? So what is absolute dispersion? It is expressed in same units and it is always taken as non-negative. How do you write the non-negative values? Modulus. Okay, the sign used is modulus. Did you understand this, everyone? And what is relative dispersion? Relative means comparison. Relative always means, put your pens down, comparison. How can you compare the two? Not with absolute dispersion. Like here, for example, if I say that the mileage of the car is 2 kilometers deviation or dispersion, it means sometimes it gives 2 kilometers more, sometimes it gives 2 kilometers less. Now, you cannot compare two cars with that. Suppose you compare one car Mercedes, you compare another car Maruti. Both have absolute difference of 2 kilometers in mileage. You cannot compare. Why? Because you don't know 2 kilometers from what. Now, if I tell you that Maruti's average is 26 kilometers and deviation of 2, means the average is, you can say mileage is 24 to 28 kilometers. 26 plus minus 2. And Mercedes average is 8 kilometers and deviation is 2. That means 6 to 10. So what is this comparison? Relative dispersion. Relative dispersion means comparison is done from a measure of central tendency. So how do you find this relative dispersion? Absolute dispersion divided by some measure of central tendency on the basis of which it is obtained. Absolute dispersion divided by central tendency on the basis of which it is obtained, like we did here. How did we get this 16.67%? 8.33 divided by 50. What is 8.33 absolute? And divided by 50 is the central tendency average. Again, how did you get this 76.67? 38.33 absolute dispersion divided by 50, that is central tendency. So how do you get this relative dispersion? Absolute dispersion divided by central tendency. And secondly, it is not expressed in same units, it is free from the units of measurement. Free from the units of measurement means, what is this 8.33's units? Runs. What is this 38.33's units? But this is an absolute number, it's in percentage. Either it's an absolute number or it is in percentage. Will not say 16.67 runs. Will not say 76.67 runs. So a relative dispersion is always free from units. And how is relative dispersion used in comparison? Did you understand it? If you want to compare the two things, then you'll use the concept of relative dispersion. Any doubts with that? All are clear up till here? Now in this chapter, we are going to study 4 measures of dispersions. Okay? Listen carefully. In this chapter, we are going to study 4 measures of dispersion. Okay, first is range. First absolute measure what we will be studying is range. Its relative measure is called coefficient of range. Relative measure will always be denoted by coefficient. So what is the absolute measure? Range. And what is its relative measure? Coefficient of range. Then we will study quartile deviation. Relative measure we will study quartile deviation. What will be its, absolute measure quartile deviation. What will be its relative measure? Coefficient of quartile deviation. Okay, coefficient of quartile deviation. Then third we will study mean deviation. What example I gave on the board was of mean deviation. Arithmetic mean x bars we obtained. All the observations deviation we obtained from x bar. And what will be its relative measure? Coefficient of mean deviation. And the fourth one we will study standard deviation. This is the most important of all. First 3 will be over in one lecture each, and the last one alone will require 3-4 lectures. So standard deviation and its relative measure will be coefficient of standard deviation, and also there is a connected measure with standard deviation which is called variance. It is based on standard deviation only, and the relative measure is coefficient of variation. Okay, the relative measure is coefficient of variation. So in all, these are the topics we have to study in this chapter. Compared to last chapter, it is less, but it is based on the last chapter. Means before finding all this, we'll have to find mean, we'll have to find median, we'll have to find quartiles. So it will be a revision of last chapter also. And in statistics, all chapters are interconnected. Means chapter 3 cannot be understood without chapter 2. Until you understand frequency, conversion of less than, more than, etc., you cannot understand chapter 3. 4 cannot be understood without chapter 3. 5 cannot be understood without chapter 4. When we go to 5th chapter, we'll find mean, median, mode, quartiles also, and we'll find these things also. And then we'll find the things required in chapter 5. So all the chapters in statistics are interconnected. Did everyone understand this? So note down this in the summary. This is what we are going to study in this chapter.